Hey Rajiv. Uh,
Hey Raju,
so this week I was
absolutely.
thinking maybe we can focus on two companies which announced their results. Again, same category, belongs to the same category.
Hmm.
So we'll cover Microsoft and Meta today. But I want to start off with Microsoft first. So let's start with the numbers first. How did they do in terms of numbers this quarter?
We'll talk about this quarter, but the interesting thing about Microsoft also is that their financial year ends in June, right?
Yeah.
So the
Okay.
cycle is from July to June, right? So this was a year end and also the quarter end for them, right? So how did they do? They did fantastic. In fact, the stock went up by like 8% after they announced the result. So if I talk quickly about quarterly numbers, the revenue was 76.4 billion, which was up 18% year on year. Like that's massive, right? Operating income 34.3 billion, up 23% year on year. Net income 27.2 billion, that again is up 24%. So
Okay.
imagine on such large base, these companies are like increasing their income by
Yeah.
24%. That's just crazy, right? In terms of a full year also, the revenue was $281 billion,
Wow.
which is up
Okay.
by like 15% year on year, right?
Okay. Hmm.
And net income is keeping pace, right? So net income is 101 billion, which is up 16%. Meaning, even when they are increasing revenue like this, they're still protecting their margins. So
Margins.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
fantastic set of numbers by Microsoft.
Also,
Yeah.
I was reading that they become the second company to hit 4 trillion in market cap, right after their stock went
Yes.
up.
Yes. After
Yeah,
Nvidia, absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah. So in the since April, I think even their stock has
yeah,
almost
yeah,
doubled,
yeah.
close to doubled. So yeah, fantastic. And they are also showing, right? So when the net income is growing up by 24%, the market will. So they are still running at a P multiple of close to 38. If you look at forward FY26, guidance, that is around 35 P. So it's crazy high P. Even when hitting that kind of a market cap, the P is
Yeah.
still, around 35-ish.
Cool. So that was fantastic. The numbers are very encouraging, but it will be good if you can also maybe just talk through some of their products and services, and just broadly their business segments in general.
No, Microsoft with MS Office, Windows, right? So that is their definitely one of the largest revenue drivers,
Yeah.
but it is not the largest, by the way. Okay,
Hmm.
so it is definitely big, right? So productivity and business, it falls into one head only, right? So that also includes LinkedIn, by the way, which is owned by Microsoft. So that
Yeah.
revenue was 33 billion, which is up 16%.
Okay.
If we just talk about Microsoft 365 products, right, that revenue is up by 16%. The Dynamics 365, which is their CRM and ERP, that revenue is up to 23%. And
Hmm.
LinkedIn revenue is also up 9%. So they are firing all cylinders,
Okay.
right? So
Hmm.
that's their productive and business processes. If we talk about personal computing, right, which includes their Windows, it also includes the devices like Xbox gaming.
Hmm.
So that revenue is up 9%. It is not really growing that great. If we talk
Hmm.
about just Windows, the OEM, the devices, hardware, right? So that revenue is only up 3%
Okay.
year on year. Xbox content and services, that is up 13% year on year. So that is doing all right. But the biggest revenue driver and biggest growth engine is Microsoft Cloud. Okay,
Hmm.
so the
Okay.
quarterly revenue is 46.7 billion, which is up 27% year on year,
Okay. Hmm.
right? And even that, the Azure cloud services, that revenue grew up by 39% year on year.
Hmm. Okay.
Okay, and and the server products in the cloud services, that is up 27%. But the Azure is the real key, revenue driver for them.
So, how are they doing in terms of their cloud business when we look at the other competitors like AWS and Google Cloud? Google Cloud we covered last week. They were also doing fantastic.
Yep,
But how does
yep.
Microsoft stack up against them?
Yeah, absolutely. So if we look at these are the three key players in cloud space, which is growing like really big. All the players are growing as we have seen, right?
Yeah.
AWS is still the leader in
Hmm.
this. AWS has about 29-30% market share. Okay.
Okay. Hmm.
Azure is close second. Well, there's still some gap. Azure has about 22 to 24% market share. Azure has, right?
Hmm.
Google is still catching up. Google is about 11-12% market share, and then there are small players. So these three are
Yeah.
there. But the important thing is that if we talk about Azure, or if we talk about cloud with Gen AI and AI adoption, there Microsoft Azure is the leader.
Okay. So what you're
Okay,
saying
big
is
big.
clients are preferring to go for the Azure and their cloud products compared to AWS. So they're preferring that more, is
Absolutely,
it?
absolutely, because of Open AI Alliance. That is the key thing,
Okay.
right?
Yeah. Hmm.
If we talk about AWS is generally known for best developer friendly flexibility, etc. So
Right.
Amazon Bedrock gives you that. Google has an edge in terms of the Gemini models they bring in, the open source models, and if you're really looking to do something in machine learning, etc., so there Google has the edge,
Okay.
right? So
Mhm.
all of them are growing, but if we talk about cloud with AI built into that, then Azure is certainly the leader and is growing massively, right?
Okay.
One number. So, for example, their Gen AI revenue, right? It
Hmm.
has gone up by 175% year on year for Microsoft.
Okay. Is it mostly like
Massive.
mostly Copilot licenses and Azure?
Uh, okay, let's talk about Copilot, right? So, Copilot has just crossed 100 million active users for
Okay.
Microsoft.
Hmm.
Okay. Now, the important thing is only 4% enterprises have really adopted Copilot fully.
Okay.
Only 4%. That shows that the growth or adoption is slower than expected, but it
Hmm.
also means there's a huge scope of growth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And early numbers, but those enterprises which have adopted, they have reported a revenue increase of about 6%. So I would say that these are just early numbers. I'm
Hmm.
sure we do not have enough data there,
Yeah.
but still some numbers which Microsoft is quoting.
Okay.
And now, in terms of AI, the main contributors is Azure AI and GitHub Copilot. That is where
Okay.
the AI growth is coming, and not from MS Office Copilot,
Okay. Hmm. Okay. So
right? So that's
largely
where,
driven by
yep,
developers are kind of sort of really adopting to the GitHub Copilot tool, right? And the feature on that. Okay.
absolutely, absolutely. Few more things if I just talk about AI. What's happening with Microsoft there? So they are doing a capital expenditure capex of 30 billion.
Hmm.
This next quarter they have promised that they're going to do
Only in the
30
next
billion.
quarter, is it? Okay.
Only in the next quarter, $30 billion. Last quarter was 24 billion, which again
Okay.
was 27% up from the previous quarter before that,
Okay. Hmm.
right? And even after that, they are saying that the biggest bottleneck there is the capacity constraint because the demand is so high that they are
Yeah.
not able to meet the capacity.
So this is one consistent theme that we're getting from all the players, right? Google is also saying that they're not able
Yes,
to catch up because they're not able to meet the demand because the demand is just too high and don't have the capacity, which is where all the
they don't have the
capex is going,
capacity.
I guess, right? I think
Absolutely.
that's what
Correct,
we talked about
correct,
last week as well.
correct,
So it's
correct.
it's similar music that we're hearing from
Similar.
Microsoft also. Okay.
Absolutely. Similar music. So this industry overall is growing massively, and which is obvious, right? That is why NVIDIA is able to grow so much, right? So all
Yeah.
of these
Yeah.
data set, all of the capex is growing, and who is getting all of that money?
Yeah.
NVIDIA and
Yeah. Yeah.
AMDs, but NVIDIA is getting the biggest
Yeah.
chunk,
Yeah.
right? So,
Yeah. Yeah.
that also shows that NVIDIA will keep growing because these companies will keep pumping in money, and they
At
keep
least
pumping in
at least in the
money
near future for sure. Yeah.
at least in the near future. If they slow down, we'll know. The
Yeah.
capex
Yeah.
will slow down.
Yeah.
If they announce that okay, instead of this 30 billion, we're only going to do 3 billion capex, then you can be sure that even likes of Nvidia's and AMD's will their growth will also reduce.
Struggle. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
So yeah, and in fact, if I just quote Satya Nadella, right, what he has said that cloud and AI are driving business transformation globally. And he highlighted that Azure's annual revenue surpassed 75%, 75 billion, which is up like 34% year on year.
Okay.
All of the Microsoft products are really, now AI first, be it their MS Office, be it their Azure Cloud, be it
The power
their
apps and all that, right?
Power Apps, be it their CRM, ERP, the Microsoft Dynamics. So everything is sort of AI first, and he's clearly said that the biggest growth driver, the revenue driver for Microsoft going forward is going to be AI, which is
Okay.
already clearly visible.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Agreed.
Uh, yeah, so that's Microsoft for us, Raju.
That's wonderful. Actually, it's good to know that that they have also done exceedingly well, and some of the projections and capex commitments that we're hearing from that will be exciting to keep an eye on them in the future, I guess.
Yeah, that's Microsoft. Now let's shift to Meta.
Yeah,
Right, Meta is one of the very exciting companies. The flavor is a bit different than Microsoft, but again, very exciting. So let's start with the numbers. How did Meta
yeah.
do?
So Meta again, on both on the revenue and on the net income side, Meta did exceedingly well. It did beat the
Hmm.
street expectations. Against an expectation of 44.3 billion, they reported 47.52
Hmm.
billion in terms of revenue,
Wow.
a 12% year-on-year growth. Also net income, they beat the street expectations, $18.3 billion in terms of net income.
Wow. Okay.
And as we
Hmm.
know, right, Meta is the undisputed leader in social media. So obviously, the number of active users is an important metric they track.
Yep.
Currently, they have a user base, an active user base of 3.98 billion users globally. That's
That's almost like
absolutely
half of the world.
half the world, right? So the numbers are absolutely mind-boggling. It's like any kid on the street knows what an Instagram or a Facebook is, right? So we all have our
Absolutely.
accounts since a long
Absolutely.
time. So
And WhatsApp.
and WhatsApp, obviously. So 3.98 billion active
Yeah.
users, and
Hmm.
it's growing. It's grown 6% since the last, as in year-on-year terms, 6%. So I mean, I think it's a no-brainer the amount of competitive moat they have in terms of consumer data and advertising and all of that, right? Which brings me to their products. What are the top
Yeah.
typical products? I think it's again, I think already touched upon that, but Facebook, Messenger, WhatsApp, Instagram, and the fifth one to their, which is sort of a recent entry into their profile and is doing good, is Threads. Not sure if you've heard of that.
Hmm.
So
Yep.
Threads is
So
sort of a
it was launched in competition to Twitter, I
Twitter,
think.
right.
Right.
So there basically it's a
Hmm.
text based platform where users can interact, have
Hmm.
conversations, or post updates in text. Although it supports photos and videos as well, and it's also doing very well. But we know about these 4 or 5 products that we just talked about. But what does this mean for them is it drives 98% of their revenue. So
Wow. Hmm.
Meta runs on advertising revenue. Again, WhatsApp and Facebook is free for us. We don't pay for it, but businesses pay for it for displaying their ads on that, right?
So I've heard when something is free, that means it's not free. You are the customer, or
Absolutely.
you are the product, right? You are the
Absolutely.
product.
Right. So all our
Hmm.
interaction patterns, our behavior, how we browse for products, what are we looking, what do we like, what do we dislike, obviously all of that is captured through our interactions in Facebook and Instagram and WhatsApp,
Hmm.
right? And that's
Hmm.
that's why businesses pay Facebook, so that these targeted ads could be shown to the right customers, potential customers, right? So if next time you see a vacuum cleaner ad show up on your Facebook, or some I don't know, some Zumba classes coming up in your Instagram feed, just know that
Hmm.
maybe you would have browsed for that, which is why it's showing up in your feed
Yeah.
basically.
So I think overall social media is growing. So for example, even YouTube revenues we looked at last time. YouTube
Yes,
revenues were really up significantly. YouTube Shorts is also really growing.
yes,
Microsoft is also somehow trying to get in there from LinkedIn, although the focus is very different. But still,
definitely.
they're still trying to. They have launched video on LinkedIn. But despite the growth of YouTube and Shorts and all, I think the Instagram just keeps on growing. Really.
Absolutely, yeah, yeah, and especially amongst
Mm.
the Gen Zs, right? I think they are very active users of
Mm.
Instagram, and obviously the Instagram Shorts is another hit in the Gen Z space. So yeah, so I think as I said, right, these products are really driving the advertising revenue, and if you look at the numbers in terms of revenue and net income, I think it just means
That's
that
awesome.
they
Yeah,
are
yeah,
getting more and more revenues from ads and will continue to do so. Um,
absolutely.
yeah,
So now, Raju, if we also talk about what are some of the big bets Meta is taking, because their CEO Mark Zuckerberg especially is very aggressive, right? And
yes,
he's doing
yes,
a
yes.
lot of things. So what do we know from the quarter results and the management commentary?
So some very significant announcements have been made, which I would like to touch upon, right? And the one that really stood out
Mm.
for me was their announcement of something called personal superintelligence. And Mark Zuckerberg did touch upon that, saying that in the future, their vision is that every individual should have their own super intelligent agent, a super intelligent assistant. Uh, Obviously, he didn't go into much details of what it means, but reading between the lines, analysts and experts are saying maybe he's talking about AGI, right? Which I think is
Hmm.
something which is talked about with a lot of enthusiasm, but obviously there's also a controversial side to it. Not get into that, but the vision is basically a personal super intelligent agent for, or an assistant for every human being, so that they are able to, realize their full potential. Actually, if everyone has
Yeah,
a super intelligent assistant, just think about it, right? I mean it's like
yeah,
having superpowers. Every individual has their own superpowers, and we already know what these assistants can
absolutely.
do, right? And we've
Yeah,
already
yeah.
seen that.
So, what I have read and heard is, so, like you said, your personal super intelligent assistant, like your personal Jarvis, the way Iron Man had, right? But
Yeah.
they're not thinking in terms of an assistant who's sitting within your laptop or phone only. I think they're trying to link it to their wearables, right?
Yes.
So say
Yes.
Meta glass which you will wear, right? So it will be able to see what you see, it will be able to hear what you
Right.
hear, and thus you will not have to give prompts, right? It
Right.
knows about you. It is almost sort of immersed into your reality,
Correct.
right? And then it is able to give you suggestions and you help you guide you even before you go
Right.
and specifically
Right. So
ask
that's
it,
what they
right?
announced,
So
that
hmm,
interaction with this agent or this super intelligent assistant will be through their smart glasses, which is the Meta glasses, right? I mean, their
hmm,
reality labs hasn't really done much ever since it launched. I think Mark Zuckerberg went all in with the virtual reality and metaverse back in 2021. But to be very frank, I mean, I think investors over the years have seen that it didn't really turn out to be the way he anticipated it would, right? So they're making this pivot towards super intelligence, which is basically advanced AI as the next pivot, basically.
one anecdote if I share there. So yes, Mark Zuckerberg, he's a risk taker, right?
Yeah,
And yes, he went really big on Meta and all. And in 22, do you know that shares of Meta fell by 78%?
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Okay,
I'm
because
aware
of
of that.
this, and they thought that okay, Meta is going to go down, it's going to go bankrupt and whatnot, right? But then this is just too powerful. A company has too big a moat for it to go
Yes.
down. And
Yeah,
since then, within a year, the shares then rose back up and are touching all-time high now, right? So
yeah,
since
yeah.
the bottom, it is up like 6x.
Yeah,
So
and
you do not want to bet against Elon Musk. You at the same time do not to bet against Mark Zuckerberg also.
absolutely. And this is the pivot that he's making, right? He's really going all in for AI. Let me just talk through some numbers, right? So they've announced a 72 billion capex this year. Like,
Wow,
I mean, which
where
is
is that
obviously,
going?
yes. So,
Hmm.
which is not very different from what the other players are doing as well. And they have indicated that their CFO has indicated that there could be a potential rise, and next year they're looking at 100 billion investment in building AI infrastructure and data centers and acquiring chips and
Wow.
all of that, right? So clearly
Hmm.
shows that they are absolutely going all in very aggressively. They hired. They actually acquired a company called Scale AI. I don't know if you heard about that a couple of months back.
Yes. Yes.
And the
Yes.
CEO of that, which is uh, basically going CEO of Scale AI, is basically going to lead the super intelligence initiative
What's the name? I
in
think
Meta.
Alexander something. What was the
Yeah,
name? I forgot it.
yeah, Alexander Wang.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
Because of that person, I think that's a 27-year-old guy,
yeah,
and they acquired this company because they wanted to come. They wanted him to come and lead this small super intelligence team. And after
right,
that,
right.
they have been making offers of 100 billion or
Th-
100 million.
That's the yeah, yeah.
Si
That's what I was about to come. You must have read all this crazy news that they are
Seriously,
poaching talent, very sought after talent from OpenAI and Google and Apple, and offering those mind-boggling numbers in terms of bonuses, like
my
which
God.
are running into hundreds of millions. So they're investing in talent, and they're also obviously investing in building infrastructure. And that again, as I said, right, ever since the metaverse thing didn't work out, obviously the stocks really went down, but the way it has bounced back, and now Mark Zuckerberg is going all in AI, and it's really showing. Obviously, one question all the analysts are asking is a little bit nervous about is the path to revenue. I mean, what's the ROI on all these investments? I think that's one common question which will be asked to all the big techs. So far, they're delivering on their numbers, but these hundreds of billions of dollars of investment very soon, obviously, I think they'll also have to. I think we'll
I
obviously
also
keep
have a
tracking.
question, Raju.
Yeah.
Is there something, not 100 million, but can we get like a $1 million offer from Meta? Is there a way out?
Yeah.
Let's explore.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Why not? I don't think we will be in the
Hmm.
news though, but yeah.
We don't want to be in this. We quietly just want to have that 1 million offer and that's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's absolutely
But
crazy.
jokes aside, I mean,
Hmm.
the look at the irony of it, right? On one side, I think last week we discussed, we see all these layoffs and cost cuts and
Hmm.
redundancies and pink slips in across the industry, and on the other hand, we see this absolutely mind-boggling and I would say absolutely insane amount of bonuses and packages and compensation being offered for the right talent, right? So
Yep.
it almost seems there are two parallel worlds which are coexisting, one which is obviously more depressing, dark and gloomy with firings and layoffs, but on the other hand a fantastic opportunity to make a career and build generational wealth. Actually, depends on which side of the you know boat you are in.
Rich
uh,
becomes richer and poor becomes poorer. That is how it is, and that is how it has been, and that is how it will be.
yeah, absolutely, yeah. Yeah,
Raju, I think we are at time, but if I just wrap up now, Microsoft, Meta, both have posted fantastic results. Both are doing aggressive investments in AI, and which is similar sense we are getting from Google and others, Google,
yeah,
Amazon, and others, right? And we will continue to track four companies in this space, and these companies we will continue to track in next quarter as well.
yeah,
But if you are, if you are serious about AI, if you want to invest in AI, if you want to learn about AI, then I think you have to keep track of how these hyperscalers are doing, where are they doing capex, and what is their commentary
yeah,
about what's happening in the
yeah,
space, right?
yeah, yeah.
So, with that, Raju, let's wrap it up and let's connect again to go over some more exciting results which are coming in.
Cool. Great conversation,
Yeah,
Rajiv. Looking
yeah,
forward to
yeah,
the next one.
yeah. Thanks, Raju.
Thank you.